Cleveland's XL driver in 2024 was, I think, for club golfers, a driver for the people. Price, forgiveness, adjustability. It offered so many things. I just think so many people thought it was great value for money. Well, you can now see, because of this video right here and some selected sites in the UK and maybe wherever you're watching, you can start to pre-order the brand new Cleveland. And listen to this, they're rolling back the years with some old technology, and I'll be honest, something that I've never seen before, like some wings on the side of the driver. So first things first, let's announce the name. It's the Cleveland HiBore XL driver. HiBore. Does anybody remember the HiBore? Like, we've had so many drivers in the past from Cleveland. We've got the HiBore XL. We've got the HiBore Monster. Any remember that one? XLS. All really great iconic drivers from Cleveland. And then last year, you had the Cleveland XL2 driver, which, as I just said, went down a storm. Now, the first thing I want to start with is the price point. Last year's driver in the UK was around the $299 mark. This year, it's starting the HiBore version, the 2025 HiBore Cleveland XL, at $399. Now, we're going to go through the technology that Cleveland are offering, but is it worth that £100 more? Is there like justification in that? Or is this them saying we've now got a driver that can compete at that higher price point, that can compete with those big boys? And does that then take it out of the driver for the people? Just ideas that I'm going for right now. And I want you to get this first look. So let's go for the first look at this driver. You've got a video on the side of the screen here. The first thing I really want to pick out is the bottom of the driver. Now, the bottom of the driver looks sleek, but it does look triangular. And there is something in that. It looks a very different shaped driver to what we see traditionally. You've got a back weighting system. You see this a lot. It's 12-gram weight. You see that a lot in very, very forgiving drivers. You can also see here glimpses of the AI optimized. And again, you've got the HiBore XL accent across the side. But something I want to pick up on, this shape to start with, it's like a triangle. It is literally a triangle looking down on the golf ball. And from that top view, we've got this active wing. Like a wing on the side. Now, that's something that I'm really quite interested in to see, like, is that, like, a bit, nothing's a gimmick, but, like, is that a little bit of something that they're going to have and then not going to see again in a few years? Or is it actually something that's technology that other people, you know what, might come with and might bring out? So you can really see here a definite shape, an extra large face, looks really, really big, and a very, very interesting look to a driver. I like how we've got the sort of Cleveland center line there to show the center of the face. It's something that we've seen in the last few drivers, and I actually like drivers that have that. Some brands don't. And then just want to go into the head cover. I really like the colorway. The black with the deep blue look and a bit of grey. I think it looks a really strong head cover, very similar to last year's in terms of shape and design. So let's keep going through this. Now, Cleveland have announced the return of one of its most iconic designs with the all-new HiBore XL drivers. On that point, if anybody had a HiBore, get down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of it. Do you still have it in the garage, or did you bin it? Like, I think it was a really popular driver. I could be mistaken here, but I think it was a really popular driver. With this new release, the company are bringing back a beloved classic with a modern twist. But will club golfers fall in love with it? I just don't know yet. I just don't know. The apprehension I have is that price. So at first glance, what do you think of the name? And what do you think of the look of this driver? Is that triangle something that you're going to go, "Hoo, I don't like"? Or is it something you're like, yeah, you know what, I can get on board with that? Again, I'll leave this video on the side of the screen here as we start going through this technology, just so you can help settle your mind or start to look at this. Now, last night, we actually reviewed some of the other drivers, the ones that aren't even out yet, and leaked images. So don't forget, if you want to keep up to date with everything technology, everything clubs, everything going on in the golf industry in terms of clubs and on the course, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell. So HiBore, you might might be thinking, if you're new to golf, what on earth is HiBore? Well, essentially, the HiBore was the first to... The HiBore driver was the first to invert the crown geometry, so sort of change the shape. Most drivers' crowns are like this. The HiBore has a slightly different look. Now, this allows them to move this weight and creating a deeper center of gravity, which essentially what you've got to think of that's going to help you. It's going to improve launch conditions, dispersion, and consistency, which we all don't want. We all want a bit of consistency, right? We're not going to say no to a bit of that. So HiBore is back with a bang, and it's sort of a little more subtle, I guess. Like, you wouldn't know, like, looking at the top, you've not got that invert actually visible. Like, we're looking at these images again. Like, I can't see that invert visible from that side profile. It must be something that's going on sort of in the background, you know, behind the scenes, as opposed to being very, very out there. I mean, I'm just going to Google this right now and go, HiBore Cleveland drivers, and just sort of to remind you what I mean with that from that sort of crown. I've got the HiBore XL here. You can sort of see how it sort of was deepening, sort of like a ski slope. It came down, and from the top profile here, you can sort of see that look. You can't see that, and I think that's why it's sort of a bit more of a modern twist, and I think that's a good move, first off, from Cleveland. Like, I think for some people, the triangle shape, and then with that could be a little bit off-putting. And I think a lot of people didn't like the slope in terms of the look, but they loved it in terms of what it did. Another thing to note here, what Cleveland have done this year, they've started to use AI. Now, that's something that we've seen Callaway do for a few years. Actually, I'm starting to think about it. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't think many other brands actually are using AI as much as Callaway. So this is a good move. Is this a good justification of that price? Could be. Might be. Let me know what you think on that. So let's dive into this technology a little more, because I think this will really give you an idea of what you're getting for your money. Don't forget, I want to really go into this active wing, that sort of wing structure. Very, very interesting. Now, I banged on about this triangle shape. So what does it actually do? To make the driver essentially more forgiving than ever, they've added an extra large face, but the face adds head volume. So they've tapered the sides in, and it's given it that sort of triangular shape. And this allows them to keep the weight at the rear low and deep, and hence why the triangular shape was born. So because they're wanting to get a larger face, and they're saying it's 19% more surface area of that face, that has meant to keep CG where they want it, they've had to sort of taper in the sides. And you can see this image here of what they've tapered in from that sort of traditional look to create this sort of triangle shape. Now, I just think it looks quite weird. I'm not quite sure on it, if I'm perfectly honest. Let me know what you think. I already mentioned the fact that it's got a larger face, and we all know a larger face means off-center hits. Essentially, you're going to get a little more bang for your buck. There's also more surface area for them to hit. Now, they're saying right here, the HiBore XL offers approximately 17 more yards of distance on extreme off-center strikes, and up to 24% fewer partially missed shots. Now, that's massive. So it's 19% bigger. They're saying you're getting 17% more on extreme off-center hits and up to 24% fewer missed shots. That's some huge claims. Now, we will be testing this driver as soon as we can get our hands on it. No one's got their hands on it right now, but that's why I'm bringing you this video, to let you know exactly what the technology is, so we can both look forward to hitting it, right? Both look forward to hitting it. Now, Cleveland driver last year, sound. I'm not going to say it was as funky as a ping, but it was definitely falling into that bracket for me. It definitely knew. You're like, whoa, okay, that driver's a little bit different. You sort of thought about it, right, when you were hitting it. So they're saying this year, the triangular footprint helps reduce vibration in the sole and the crown. The sound profile at impact is music to your eyes, they're saying, and ears after every piped tee shot. So what they've done here is improve sound, improve technology, use AI, change shape in order to create this driver. Sounds like we're getting quite a lot here. So maybe that £100 price point is justified. Now, there's one last piece of technology I want to go through, and it's the active wing. And it's strange, isn't it? Like, look at it again here closely. You can sort of see it coming up off the driver. Now, again, forgive me if I'm wrong here. In my lifetime, apart from with sort of the HiBore, I've never seen a shape of a driver have those wings on it. Never, ever, ever. Now, they're saying active wing is a brand new technology for Cleveland Golf. It was placed in the heel of the crown to enhance consistency at impact. The airflow design provides added stability in the downswing, leading to a better downrange performance and distance. So, sort of what I'm imagining in here is a bit like a spoiler to a car. Not adding downforce, but helping the car stay straight and make it a lot more handleable. Handleable? Is that even a word? Easier to handle is what I mean. I don't know about that. I think that may be a little bit off-putting if I'm being perfectly honest. It looks a little bit weird. So, that's our first look at all the technology, the shape, what Cleveland are promising for their 2025 offering. What are your thoughts? Is that £100 price point justified? Is it worth it? I'm actually going to say I think it is. I think there's a lot in there right now. AI, different shape, better sound, larger profile. I think there's a lot to go at. Let me know what you think, though. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.